this baby started. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys, in Danica.
Jamie McMurray down below the yellow line and off pace in this opening lap in the number 1.
I think he's hunting his teammate. That red car right there, Juan Pablo Montoya.
Yeah, they had a plan. They were going to get hooked up.
So strategy not a problem for McMurray. And two-car tandem. Talk about teammates that have hooked up. Greg Biffle and his Roush Fenway Ford teammate Matt Kenseth and Carl Edwards. 3 Fords. Trouble already. The wall. Slams to the outside. It's 5-time champion Jimmy Johnson. He collects Danica Patrick and the 34 of David Reagan.
Trevor Bayne, the 21 car, winner from last year. You see him involved?
Kurt Busch is involved.
I'm a little worried about Jimmy. He took a hard lick right in the door. And there's the HenryCar.com Chevrolet of Kurt Busch. He's got damage.
1 lap and 600 feet. And it's calamity.
Oh my gosh. Jimmy took a really hard lick, that second lick.
David Reagan's Ford, his first outing for Front Row, the 78 of Regan Smith.
Ooh, just got a little tap in the back end.
I believe that might have been Elliott Sadler in 33.
Elliott Sadler gave him just a little tap. Right here's what I was talking about. Watch Danica. Right there, she gets some damage, but then watch her go down. Jimmy's car's total, but watch her right here. Right between those 2 cars.
First caution of the night, lap 2. Here's another look. Look at that outside lane and the blue car that's second in line.
You see, Jimmy just gets a little bit loose, and when he corrects, it just overcorrects, and into the fence it goes. And then he gets a really hard lick right here. That's the one that really worried me. He got that right in the driver's door.
Darrell, what was one of our Goodyear keys? Don't push me in the left rear. This tri-oval can be pretty treacherous.
Now from the blimp, watch for the green car as Danica Patrick comes into frame from the top of your screen.
You see right here, Jimmy's getting ready to get a hard lick, but here's Danica right here. She gets some damage off of Jimmy Johnson's car there, but I do not. This is the wildest thing I've ever seen. Watch this car go right, but these 2 cars, these guys are all wrecking, and she goes right in between them.
A big chain reaction crash as Johnson's car just clogs the racetrack. And the 34, David Reagan, had car to the outside, car to the inside, nowhere to go. We'll ride with Danica Patrick.
He was just looking. Inside 2 wide. Oh, slow. Check up. Go low.
And now with Jimmy Johnson.
Inside only.
All the drivers involved have either climbed out of their cars or driven back to the pits. They're okay, but what a hard hit.
These guys, I've seen a lot of wrecks in stock cars in NASCAR, but these guys have all taken a lesson from Danica Patrick. They have seen what she does when she's been in some hard wrecks, and they've taken their hands off the wheel, and he is hurt. He took a hard lick. He's got the wind knocked out of him, I'm sure. Let's ride with Jimmy and see if we can get a handle on exactly what happened here. You heard his spotter say looking on the inside, and he got clipped on the inside. That can see right there, that's a heck of an impact.
In 2006, Jimmy Johnson's average finish in this race has been in the mid-30s.
With somebody, you can't be defensive all day long.
But you're right, those three Roush Fenway drivers right there, Biffle, Edwards, and Kenseth, they've been fast all week. And this is Roush Fenway's 25th year.
Back straight away. One car around sideways. It's Ryan Newman. Tony Stewart's teammate has brought out the second caution flag of the night on lap 12.
And I haven't even seen the replay, but I bet somebody maybe had a tire issue. I think he's got a tire down, Larry. The way that thing's sparking and everything, he's got a tire down.
A single car spin puts us under the second caution flag of the night, and the sparks fly.
Yeah. And you can see the right rear tire.
These cars have safety interliners inside the tires so they don't go flat to the rim, which is a good thing at 200 miles an hour.
What's a good thing is that pavement that has been put down that back straightaway now. That's a good thing. That's saved a lot of guys.
Here is Casey Kane's view. That's Newman just ahead of him on the inside.
Check up here. Check up. Get around. Outside. Get outside. Get outside. You're clear. All clear.
Matt Yoakum.
And a great call by DW in the booth and Larry Mack. He said simply on the radio, Ryan Newman, not sure which, but I had a tire going down. Great save.
We saw Jeff Gordon wave out the window.
Oh,
Smoke fire on Jeff Gordon's Chevrolet.
Engine just blew all to pieces.
We're blowing up, guys. It's all done.
Three-time Daytona 500 winner Jeff Gordon has brought out the fourth caution flag of the night at lap 81. I saw that handout
Problem till it was too late.
Pulls to the outside and signals. Mark Martin gets away from right behind him. Good thing.
Hendrick Motorsports is going for their 200th win here this weekend, and Jeff Gordon's not going to deliver it. Jimmy Johnson's not going to deliver it.
That leaves Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Casey Kane for the Hendrick team.
Mark Martin in the 55 for a moment was going to follow him. He thought Jeff Gordon was just moving up, and then he realized what was going on as he saw Jeff waving that hand out the window.
While we're speaking to Rick Hendrick, find out how much truth there was in those statements, because these guys are getting ready to turn the wick up with 10 laps to go to get the money.
On the outside, that drafting tandem that worked so well before.
There he goes.
And around goes the bunny off the bumper of Marcus Ambrose, and caution is out.
He's going to save it.
Barely got him right in that left rear corner that we've been talking about.
And the rains that have plagued Daytona Beach for the last few days have captured the Frank Stoddard car driven by Terry Labonte. His Ford can't get out of the mud.
On the bumper of Terry Labonte, number 32, gets down on that left side, and
fortunately that runoff area is paved, and Labonte, look at the car control as he tries to keep that thing away from the wall and ends up in the grass.
There's a number of things that have been done to these cars that have really helped them. That big fin on the across the deck lid, that really helps. Certainly this paved, all this area being paved now, that's very helpful, saves the car and the driver.
Now before this happened, wondering if Frank, 43 laps to go in Daytona, David Stremme from South Bend, Indiana, and the little team that could make the 500, something under the hood breaks. He slides up the racetrack.
Where was he going?
And that team totals 8 people and 3 shop dogs. They made the Daytona 500. All that happened on lap 2. And now under caution, Juan Pablo Montoya has crashed and gone aflame.
Holy cow, what happened?
We just got a report that he was complaining about a bad vibration in every gear.
No, Larry, he just slammed
hit
into
the jet dryer.
I think he slammed into the jet dryer.
They're trying to clear debris off the racetrack, and the car brakes, won't steer, and he slides up the track and into the back of that surplus helicopter jet engine on a trailer used to dry the racetrack.
Larry, Mike, I saw sparks coming out from the car as if it had a tire down or something. What an incredible turn of events. I've never in my life.
Here's a different angle. See the safety trucks up top? Wow.
I mean, it just exploded. When it hit it, it just exploded.
And he was traveling at a high rate of speed, trying to catch back up with the field.
Back of the field.
Montoya climbs away.
Hamlin could drop in line right there, and he did. He got in front of his team. Oh, there's a car off in the grass. More cars off in the grass.
3 cars sliding. Marcus Ambrose is 1.
It's Casey Mears, the 13 that they just had lapped.
Caution.
Those lap cars are so hard to get around when you're coming up on them 20 mile an hour faster than the lap car's going.
And there's Mears, and Ambrose gets away after that big spin. Fortunate, Darrell, that more cars weren't involved.
It looked
as this gets started.
Just gets real tight heading off in the corner down here. Again, Casey is getting lapped.
Stenhouse got into Almirola across the front of Mears and then Ambrose.
Well, Almirola just about.
I'm telling you.
He just barely slid through there after that happened.
I think the 9 car, Marcus Ambrose, he's got quite a bit of body damage. I don't know if it's going to be bad enough to take him out of contention or not. Look at Almirola right there. Whoopee. Nice save.
Watch this right here, though. Wow.
Well, in 2 of those cars, the 9 and 43 are teammates at Richard Petty Motorsports, Ambrose and Almirola. But Ricky Stenhouse was trying to move from the outside to the middle, and that hole just wasn't open.
Boy, you just don't get down on the apron very often in the trial and get it straightened up and keep on going.
So the caution waves with 22 laps to go. Now, there's Stenhouse in the number 6. There's the first contact with the 43.
I think the 13 was just forcing the 43. He had nowhere to go, and the 6 was on the outside there, and they did make contact.
Clint Boyer gets the free pass. Watch Ricky Stenhouse.
It is more like the 43 seemed to me like may have gone up a little bit as much as the Stenhouse tried to come down. I think it was just getting tight right there as they went by the slow car of Mears.
Darrell, we talked about it earlier in the show, the tri-oval here. It is one of the most treacherous places of this racetrack.
Well, you're running the same speed through the tri-oval that you are in through the turns. You're running 200 mile an hour through here, and you don't have but 18 degrees of banking. So the car gets really light and gets really loose as you come through here. Falling back a tad.
13 laps to go.
Oh, trouble, big trouble.
Mid-pack. Sliding and spinning into the infield, McMurray. And sliding up the racetrack, 1 car going to coast to the bottom. That's Eric Almirola. Regan Smith was in it, and Casey Kane. The left side of his car torn up, and we're back under caution for the 9th time at lap 188.
Almirola, the 1 car there, McMurray's the one I saw. Man, he was spinning around like a top.
Carl Edwards.
Wobble.
I believe he blew a left rear tire. That thing started wiggling around, and as he came into the tri-oval, it spun out, and when it came to a stop, you can see the left rear tire is completely torn apart. So I think he had a cut tire, and the thing just got away from him.
Yeah, he was wobbling through the tri-oval there, and finally went around with him.
Another driver involved, Brad Keselowski, right there.
Wonder if
right.
Brad twittered that.
Right
Probably
there is McMurray.
Yeah, Keselowski and the 2 just drove underneath Casey Kane in the 5. Just nowhere to go.
Watch Tony Stewart there. He just worked his way right back. Keselowski missed that wreck by inches.
Boy, Almirola came up the track right in front of Dave Blaney, who missed him. Watch that orange and black number 1.
Yeah,
right
right
side of your screen.
Right here. He starts wobbling right here, and then the car starts goes around. And it looked like a top. I saw that orange car just spin around, and look at Tony Stewart right there getting right through that mess.
Well, Stewart did get some damage in the first part of that crash,
yes,
though, Darrell.
He did. Yes, he did.
And from Casey Kane.
Keselowski almost went over.
We got let's see, where are we at?
And we'll ride with Regan
3 wide,
in the furniture
3 wide,
car.
43 still outside, right there, you see it.
I don't think he can see anything.
Carl Edwards, our pole sitter.
He almost made it through. Got some damage right there near the end of it.
Casey Kane.
Darrell, he did the same thing with his hands that Jimmy Johnson did in that wreck on lap 1.
We've had in-car cameras in these cars for years, and up until recently have I seen drivers let go of the wheel and tuck their hands out of the harm's way like that. They've learned a lot about this over the last year or two.
Keep in mind, Casey Kane is a longtime open wheeler, owns a sprint car team, and a defensive posture, a learned response when something like that happens. And with our new dual path onboard cameras, we can give you 2 views from the in-car. Here's what Jamie Mack had to say.
Broke on my car. I don't know what it was. I think
Out pair right there.
Regan Smith able to continue with that damage, and it looks like so too.
That 6 car.
Down on the inside, McMurray loses control, and it's on. Self and 2 Chevrolets behind, Earnhardt and Burton. More Chevys, Harvick, Menard, Newman, and 14 Tony Stewart.
And there's Tony Stewart's teammate, Ryan Newman. Oh, Tony's going around. Another wreck through the tri-oval.
Kyle Busch, hard slide through the grass, no contact. At least half a dozen cars involved in this one. Dave Blaney drives away. That's Kyle Busch. Caution flag number 10 with 4 laps to go. Landon Castle, or excuse me, David Rudiman.
He gets a little push from behind, maybe from Joey Logano.
He and Stenhouse go around. Newman and Busch.
And Newman and Busch was actually in front of Tony a little bit when that started happening.
Have to take a couple more looks at that.
Kyle Busch went for a long wild ride. Blaney involved.
Let's see here. Here's 39 up here. Right there. Stenhouse got into the side, and Stenhouse in the 6 got into Tony.
I'm not sure, though, that David Gilliland didn't get into the back of Stenhouse and push him up into Tony.
Could have to look at it again.
That's about the second or third wreck we've seen on the exit of the tri-oval. It just starts narrowing up right there.
Cars are really free and loose right through the tri-oval. I'm telling you, you're running 200 mile an hour through there. It's hard to hang on sometime.
You saw there where Kyle Busch in the 18 jumped down in front of Ricky Stenhouse in the 6.
I know Stenhouse hit Tony. I'm not sure if he got forced into him. Here's smoke right out here.
All right, there's Stenhouse with Gilliland behind him.
No, you know what? The 20 car and the 6 car make a little contact.
You're right.
And I'm not sure that didn't move the 6 car up, Stenhouse up just enough that he got into the left rear of Tony Stewart.
So let's regroup here. Joey Logano and Ricky Stenhouse make contact. Stenhouse moves up into Tony Stewart.
Watch him coming inside here. There you go. Outside, stay down. Lock it down, get it rolling here if you can. Keep coming across at you. Get it rolling here if you can. Leaders are in 2.
I believe the 20 nudged the 6, and then you put him into the side of Tony. That's what it looked to me like may have happened.
Michael, how do you see it?
What do you see, bud?
It just looked like to me that Stenhouse came into the tri-oval.
Depends on whether Dale Earnhardt can push Greg Biffle or not.
Ford's at the front, a Toyota and Chevy in row 2. Green flag, and Biffle gets about a half a car length away from Denny Hamlin here and moves up to pick up his Ford teammate, Greg Biffle.
Boy, that is a teammate right there, buddy. I mean, he jumped out there, got him.
Dale Jr. had no help, but he locks on the back of Biffle, 2nd and 3rd.
I don't think it'll do Dale Jr. any good because I don't think Biffle's going to go anywhere. If he's a team player like Kansas has been, he'll sit right there.
They've got a lap and a half to find out.
Now, when they come off of turn 4 and Dale Jr. is still pushing him,
Could be a whole different story.
I'd say things might pick up.
They're looking for the white flag this time.
Once we get into this lap, if anything should happen down in turn 1 or 2 or 3 and 4, it's over.
3-car breakaway. Junior tucked up tight under the bumper of Biffle. Kenseth leads to turn 1, final lap.
Denny Hamlin in the 11s there with no one to push him.
Actually, he might actually be hurting those 2 cars in front of him if he gets back too far. But here we go. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen pretty quick.
We've seen where the timing of where you do it is so critical.
Those 2 cars, the 16 and the 88, should be able to get by Kenseth if Biffle elects to take the chance.
Ford Chevrolet off the final corner. Matt Kenseth trying to win it for the 2nd time. Here comes Junior to the outside. Side by side with Kenseth. He runs out of time. Matt Kenseth wins the Daytona 500.
I tip my hat.
I know Matt can't talk to you, but thank you, Jimmy.
2009.
Awesome, man. Awesome.